Hi, I'm Jenny Leong, and this is the latest news from the New South Wales Parliament. 6th of August marked Homelessness Week, and for those of us with compassion and a heart, it's a time for us to recognise the struggles and realities faced by people that are homeless and consider what we can do to make sure that we can eradicate this disaster. But not for the New South Wales Liberals and Nationals. Last year, in Homelessness Week, they decided to increase police powers to be able to move people on from the tent city in Martin Place. And this year, well, they topped the charts. The Minister for Family and Community Services and Social Housing, well, she introduced bonds for social housing tenants so that public housing tenants can be evicted if they can't pay their bond in time.
Pop quiz. For those playing along at home, what happens to a person when they are evicted from public housing? Yep, that's right. You don't have to be an expert to get that one. They become homeless. Perhaps Minister Goward thinks that Homelessness Week is about doing what you can to contribute to homelessness. Imagine, to any of you, the Minister included, the stress of getting a letter telling you that you were required in 14 days to pay 5 times of your weekly income. Let's put this in perspective, shall we? On my calculation, the Minister for Family and Community Services would get a letter telling her that she needed to pay $30,630 on her salary. That's 5 times her weekly salary of $6,126 per week. And be required to pay it in 14 days.
Shamefully, New South Wales Labor didn't oppose the legislation. In fact, when we called a division, they left the chamber so they wouldn't have to vote. So I gave up on the Minister and took it straight to the Premier.
Given the Minister for Family and Community Services is responsible for a public housing waiting list of over 100,000 people, a maintenance backlog of over 300 million, considerable inadequacies in fact staff support and training, which according to last week's Audit Office report resulted in a serious lack of safety for tenants and staff, and record numbers of homelessness in New South Wales, how bad do things have to get before you intervene to rectify the failures of this Minister?
If you want to read her whole answer, you can check out Hansard, or you can take my word for it, that basically she fails to take responsibility for the housing crisis and recognise the gravity of the situation in New South Wales. Thankfully, outside the building on Macquarie Street, there was a big action, loud and proud, standing to defend public housing and make sure that we stand up for the rights of public housing tenants. What's that noise? Oh, it's the sound of the Liberals, Nationals and Labor doing nothing about climate-destroying coal mining in New South Wales. Thankfully, we had groups coming to the New South Wales Parliament to launch the Cleaner, Greener New South Wales campaign. So I took the need for climate action and environmental protection to the chamber.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I've noticed that on the next available sitting day, I move that this House 1 acknowledges that climate change is real. 2, recognises that well over half of all the carbon emissions in New South Wales are a result of coal mining and burning coal, and that these emissions are a major contributor to climate change. And 3, agrees that it is time to choose a clean energy future. Thank you.
Under the Liberals and Nationals in New South Wales, we have to stand up for our rights. And I was so inspired to see the massive action of Beyond Survival March for Aboriginal Rights happening outside of this Parliament, blocking off all of Macquarie Street and standing strong for Aboriginal rights. We also saw a huge action defending our right to protest. In fact, it was a protest defending the right to protest. And it was a wonderful example of how we need to stand strong to be able to speak out for all of the things that matter to us. It's been a busy time. We spoke on legislation for the Road Transport Legislation Amendment, Penalties and Other Sanctions Bill, the Fair Trading Legislation Amendment, Consumer Guarantee Bill. For the record, we supported that one. We opposed the last one. We visited Redfern to visit the Women and Girls Emergency Centre. We had a briefing from the Military Court Watch organisation. I attended the Inner West Council citizenship ceremony at Leichhardt. I went to the Friends of Music meeting to hear from the Inner West Bars Association, and we had a mobile office in Chippendale. That's it for now from the New South Wales Parliament. Be sure to tune in next time, and remember, don't be a racist.